So, guys, if you're listening or watching, there's a short story by Kurt Vonnegut, and I'm not sure. I think I'm pronouncing
Is that the
right.
one? Well,
it's called Harrison Bergeron. I read it last night again, and I have read this before. It's like 5 pages, four or 5 pages. So
what does it start out as?
It starts out, it's like this home scene, and they lay it out like the year is 2081, and everybody's equal.
There's a video of that too. Did you know there's a short of that, like the lady dancing?
Yes, the ballerina.
Yeah, there's a short,
okay,
which is really good. It's actually an excellent short.
I definitely want to watch it. So the whole concept is, you take this notion of everyone being equal, and this is where our society gets it wrong, because no one is denying equality in value as a person, but we don't have equality in traits.
Wait.
We just don't.
When you say that, I think people did not hear what you just said. I think it seriously went right over their head.
Go back. Just hit the little circle back button. 10
because
seconds. Is that what it is on your iPhone?
10 or 15 seconds.
Just go back.
Because
listen again.
We are, when we think certain ways, when we have certain opinions about things, we are not devaluing humans. We're not devaluing.
Acknowledging reality is not a devaluing of someone.
Right. And
it's just not.
It's not that if I meet somebody that I don't agree with, that's the first thing that I want to talk about, right? When I guarantee that when I'm in jiu-jitsu, there are people that I roll with or talk with every day that I probably don't agree as far as political or gender or anything else. Right. I may not agree with it in any form.
Right.
And they wouldn't with me. However, it just doesn't come up, right? So I think, and I still respect them as human beings. So even if I were to find out,
I wouldn't respect them as human beings anymore.
Even if I were, good Lord, even if I overheard somebody talking about something that a guy was like, oh my God, I had no idea they thought this way, I wouldn't fundamentally change the way I thought about them, and not all of a sudden think of them as an enemy or start trying to tear down what they believe.
Right.
It just is not in my nature. Again, we try to treat people with respect, but you don't see that. Well, look at some of the comments on YouTube, right? It happens. Like people don't know us, but they will try to completely tear us down based on the occupation that we've chosen. And it's like, man, do people not understand that we're just human beings? Like, why is this our focus, right? And I think that Brian brought up good points of, hey, we're all human beings here. I mean, we obviously forked in the road, but we're all human beings. We all want the same thing. We all move towards the same thing. We can all respect each other with that portion of it.
Yeah, I mean, until somebody doesn't want that. Until somebody wants to take what you have.
Right.
They want to harm you. They want it for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, this is the problem with humanity. Well, this is why we live. I mean,
it's the problem with taxation.
It's taxation is theft.
Taxation.
Like, okay, let's change it.
Yeah, you can.
Pretty simple.
You actually can.
It might require some work, because it's just like a kid that finds themselves later on in life, like in their mid-20s, like, man, I really regret that I made these decisions. Like, it is not easy. If you find yourself in a place that you regret in life, any number of relationships, business, education, career, there's all sorts of spheres of life, and you could come to a point to where you have abused relationships or yourself or other things for years, and you wake up one day and you're like, I do not like where I'm at. You don't just get to start over like, oh, life is all better now.
Yeah.
You may have a fresh perspective. You may feel better about yourself and the decisions you're making, but 8 years of abuse doesn't just magically disappear. You have to go back, and it is hard work to make changes to your life so that after the next decade, you can look back and go, man, I'm so glad that I made that decision when I did. I wish I would have made it sooner, but my life is so much better now. The same thing, when you're talking about the federal government and where we've come, I even said on that conversation, you'll get to it when you get to toward the end, I agree. The federal government is way overreaching. I would love to see the states come back to having the true power. I would love to see us get back to what we framed out as ideal. I would love it. We're not there. We can recognize that we're not there, but how do How do we change it? Do we just storm the White House and blast them with rocket launchers and then start over? No, we have a system in place that we can actually make the changes peacefully. We can. It's possible.
But Mike, one of the main
and it's going to be hard
problems-
work and take a long time.
Well, you're right, and I guess I have two things to say about that. First is, why was it then under the Obama administration, and I don't mean that because it was the Obama administration, I'm trying to give it a time reference.
That's your cue.
Obama! You know what? He's just not on it.
Wow.
So, again, that's for time reference only, where the Senate and the House, Congress got a 4% approval rating. However, over a 90% reelection statistic. How does that happen? See, that
the number
is
of people
our
even
fault.
registered to vote
That
is
is
staggeringly
our fault.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
100%.
So-
it lies on us. When you look at the number of people registered versus the number of people bitching, it's staggering. And then you look at, even out of the registered voters, how many actually show up and
it's
do
ridiculous.
anything. How many people actually engage in their local communities at a level to affect true change. Because people look at the big thing like Obamacare or whatever, like that's a huge thing over everybody. Forget that, man. What's going on where you live that you can affect change on? Because that's the only way that Obamacare ever came to be. It started with what is in our control.
Right. No, I 100% agree with that.
Anyway, we got off on that. I told you it'd make you mad.
Yeah, but no,
This started with gender.
Yeah, you're right. It did, but
I'm going back and marking X on my birth certificate.
you should.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.